I've been pleasantly surprised, I won't lie. I was hoping that the film survives, and it's a word of mouth film, and I'm just so grateful that it's gone into week 2. And it's been polarized, to be honest, and it's something Vikas and me were expecting even when we wrote the script. We knew that people who will love it will really love it because there'll be genre lovers, chamber cinema lovers, and we don't make chamber films in India, right?
In a very Hitchcockian and Subhash Ghai twist, Anshuman Jha features in a very strategic scene in the motion picture Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, serving fish and chips.
I'm so glad you got that.
Oh, jeez, I'm falling off my chair laughing. And he hands the plate.
I look at the costume team and I'm like, this is the god of cinema giving me signs that this is what is meant to be. Like, you can't plan something like this. And I'm telling you, it was a wraparound. It's in the film. It's a wrapping dress. It's not a fitted dress or something. So you can't do much with it. And it just fell so beautifully on her as is. And yeah, it gave me confidence that this is what's meant to be. So now just forget as difficult as it was and just move forward.
All right, it's a Friday and normally it's box office release day, but I'm very, very pleased to inform all of you that my dear friend Anshuman Jha's movie, a movie that he's directed so passionately, Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, goes into week 2. Voila! Bravo! And Anshuman is here. Many, many congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hrishi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and really it's a morning to be celebrated because not often do we see movies go into week 2, and this kind of a movie, a genre movie, is independent motion picture where most of the action plays out in just one room. For it to do as well as it's done, it just warms the cockles of my heart. Tell me about reactions from people.
I've been pleasantly surprised, I won't lie. I was hoping that the film survives, and it's a word of mouth film, and I'm just so grateful that it's gone into week 2. And it's been polarized, to be honest, and it's something Vikas and me were expecting even when we wrote the script. We knew that people who will love it will really love it because there'll be genre lovers, chamber cinema lovers, and we don't make chamber films in India, right? Like, I remember Con when I was a kid. That
Manoj Bajpayee in that house, Ram Gopal Verma.
Urmila,
Yeah.
And the guard. So yeah, and recently, I mean, Trapped is the closest that I can think of in this century. So we knew, Vikas and me. Also, it's an absurd film. So which is why we ran this campaign, Bring Your Own Brains, BYOB, for this film, which said that, this is not a film you can leave your brain at home. So come only if you're carrying it with you. And luckily, people.
I was thinking black comedy. You said absurdist.
Yeah, it's an absurdist black comedy thriller because some weird things happen in the film. It is a weird film and that's why it's done so well at genre festivals. Like, we were at Razor Reel. The audience reactions across the world when we played it in the 6-7 countries that we've been to gave us the confidence that there is a theatrical audience for this film. Especially when we played in India at Red Lorry last year. We had 2 houseful shows. People were loving it, so we were like, all right then, let's bring this home and see how people take it. And it's something Dibakar said to me on my first film as an actor, that it's our responsibility as artists to serve new things.
This is Dibakar Banerjee, the director. And which film did he see?
Love, Sex or Dhoka, when I did with him.
When you did that, yeah.
So that was my first film as an actor. This is my first film as a director, and I have kind of lived by this mantra that it's our responsibility to keep serving new things, and bit by bit the audience consciousness changes, and we have to trust their intelligence, which we sometimes take for granted.
There are so many layers in this film. There's so many lessons in this movie. Should you choose to go and not look for lessons, it's just very, very entertaining, let me tell you. Let me put it that way. At the heart of it is immigrant culture, is racism, equally true for the West as well as the East.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And very relevant for the times that we live in. However, it is a film that was not shot yesterday. I remember you premiered it in India at the Red Lorry Festival.
Yes.
But is it a 2023 movie?
Yes. So we went and shot it in 22 and 3.
Yeah.
We were actually originally going to shoot it in 2020, but then COVID hit and we had to cancel our plans. And then I was waiting for Arjun and Rasika's dates because they were both busy with Made in Heaven and Delhi Crime respectively.
Yeah.
And we shot it finally. It first scared in 22 and then wrapped it in 23. And then end of 23 onwards, we've been to Melbourne, Chicago, Vancouver, Belgium, Razor Reel, and of course Red Lorry in India. And I'm missing some festivals. So yeah, we traveled with it for a year. And then we were stuck with the censors for 6 months. And once we got the certificate, here we are.
The story was 21 then, 2021, 22.
The story as in the writing?
The writing.
The writing was 18-19. So Bikas Mishra started in 18. We locked the third draft in 2019. It was one of the top 10 scripts at the South Asian film market in Singapore, where I pitched the film as my first directorial. And Vistas Media Capital, the funding company, film funding company, it's a NASDAQ listed company. They told me in Singapore, they greenlit it that whenever you make this film, we'll back it. And their Indian arm is Golden Ratio Films. So they've co-produced it with our company, First Ray Films, and yeah, that's how the film's been made.
In a very Hitchcockian and Subhash Ghai twist, Anshuman Jha features in a very strategic scene in the motion picture Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, serving fish and chips.
I'm so glad you got that.
Oh, jeez, I'm falling off my chair laughing. And he hands the plate. There was a large piece of fish, my friend.
Oh, that apparently...
Monstrous.
Yeah, it's a very famous pub in Skipton called The Bull. And they serve really good fish and chips, and that's where we shot that scene. And Garrick Hagan, who plays Curzon in the film, he's been on some incredible films that I look up to. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible. So just to have him on set and hear the stories, it was such a, kid in a toy store scenario for me. We just had him for 2 days, but it was just incredible to have him on set.
Why did you do that scene? Did the actor not show up that day, or was it just a small one?
It was always planned because I always loved. This is my homage to Alfred Hitchcock, and it wouldn't be complete without a blink and a miss part. Also, I'm greedy as an actor, so I said if it's my film, and somebody in an interview asked me, I don't know if it was Bhardwaj or Filmfare, they asked me, why didn't you cast yourself? And I said, no, that's not a headache I was willing to take, but a blink and a miss role, sure, why not?
So here's this story that actually talks of Indian immigrants stuck in the UK, them that can never think of themselves as part of UK culture, them who delude themselves into thinking they are as British as the British themselves, and how things play out in their respective lives. And I'm watching Arjun Mathur's character going, oh my God, I've been trying for a visa and they're not giving me a visa. And I'm looking at Trump and Keir Starmer and all these leaders on television and on YouTube, and I go, oh my God, was it written today? Which is why I'm saying I'm so surprised. It's a 2019 piece, so relevant for what's happening right here and now. But that's a good piece of work, which is relevant at any point in time.
And I think credit to Bikas, because he did serious amounts of research, and we both have friends who live abroad who are Indians but who've gone there to study. You have friends, I'm sure, and then stayed there. And I've always seen the struggle in their eyes. They might have the money and the lifestyle, but are they Indians? Are they British? And the film is not just about Asians in UK. It could be about Asians in America, Asians, immigrants anywhere. And one thing that always surprises me is I'm married to an American, and when she's in India, she's referred to as an expat. Whereas when I go to America and I choose to live there, say, I'll be an immigrant. And just that wordplay for me is something that's...
very interesting. I never thought of it that way.
I mean, why? Where do these boxes come from? Why is it different?
Wow. We did a show a couple of years ago where we're getting people who are not Indian, people of foreign origin who came in, and the names that were thrown around were just that, the expat show.
Yeah.
And now come to think of it, technically speaking, they're immigrants.
Aren't they? And if they are expats, if I go to America, why am I an immigrant?
So this whole
culture, it fascinated me. And Bikas and me, we saw our friends' struggles. Like I have somebody in America, my college classmate from Xavier's, the funnest man you'll ever meet. He's a dean of head of department of psychology in one of the most prestigious colleges in the US. And him and me were chatting just this year, and he was saying, don't quite yet feel the part here. Like, so they're always missing home, right? You miss, and that's why I thank my stars that I'm born in India, I live here, because we don't quite know how blessed we are to be in this country.
Yeah.
Given everything.
Given everything.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, actually, the Haveli itself is a country house, a town house, which they revealed to us is in the outskirts of London town. And I'm thinking the exteriors of the house, which is shown in the beginning when Arjun Mathur brings the trash out, and at maybe 1 or 2 points.
Yes.
Was it the same exterior and the same interior? Is the interior
Yes.
in that same house?
So we shot it in Skipton, which is in Yorkshire, and we were there for 3 weeks. And it's actually the first location I saw on the recce. And after that, I saw 28 more because in COVID, they shut down. That property is called Broughton Hall. It's one of the biggest, I think, top 10 resort properties in Europe. And it has these castles, these 200-year-old villas, 6 of them over 3,000 acres. And I had fallen in love with it because it had everything going for it. And then when they said, COVID, we won't be able to shoot. So then I looked at 28 more, but it was a waste because I couldn't get that property out of my mind. And Tia Tejpal, who's the production designer, through COVID, we thought that maybe we could do the interiors here because visas were not happening. It's not a joke. We kind of
it's
lived
the
through
truth,
it.
yeah.
We thought that maybe we should do interiors here, go to UK. But my heart never agreed on that since you can only do so much production design. A real location is a real location. So yeah, we were there for 3 weeks and we were hit by Europe's biggest storm in 40 years called Eunice. So we saw everything actually, like cars going into lakes, hitting because there was like ice in the... It was an incredible shooting sked.
You were in the winter. This is in the winter.
Yeah. So it was an incredible shoot from a pure shooting experience. Yeah, like dream, absolute dream to be shooting there.
And to Tia Tejpal's credit, I mean, not only is the townhouse stroke, the Haveli turned out very beautiful. There is a large chest, a large...
Trunk.
trunk. Chest is very British. A large trunk where, I'm not going to give spoilers, but a few of the characters ultimately go into that trunk. That's quite exquisite. I mean, it's antique. Did it come with the house?
Oh,
or did she source it from
That's
somewhere?
Tia and her team. Like, I was very clear on the kind of trunk I wanted. The bigger challenge was how do we transport it because it was made in India. And then it was so big that it couldn't fly because the dimensions wouldn't fit in the scanners.
So to dismantle it.
So it was in 2 pieces and it was shipped.
Wow.
So the trunk went by ship and it had to be dispatched, I think, 2 weeks before we left. So that it was received in London and then the customs were cleared. And then from there, it was a process to get that trunk. Also, the trunk is the hero of the film. Like if you've seen the trailer, the trunk, what's in the trunk is the joke, right?
Yeah.
Or not the joke. And that's the punch of this film. You'll not know what's a good joke, what's a bad joke, what's not a joke till the very end. And it was critical we got the trunk. But the trunk still sits there now. We've gifted it to Broughton Hall.
Oh, you have?
And one day we'll bring it back because it's just so damn expensive to get it back. Yeah, so for our British premiere, it'll be at the red carpet.
At the venue, at the red carpet.
Yeah.
You've already thought your red carpet look out. Oh, that is so lovely. Let's come to the actors. I mean, remarkable performance by Rasika Duggal. And Arjun Mathur. The surprise package is singer-songwriter actor Paresh Pahuja, who was with us a couple of weeks ago talking about his music and his voice notes tour. That's what he called his musical tour. And this very hauntingly beautiful girl called Zoha.
Yes.
I don't know where she's from. Where did you find her?
So, fun story. Abir Abrar, who's according to me the best theatre actor female that I have seen in India, was my first choice, and she auditioned and she was in the film. She was workshopping with us for the period of 2 years when, through pandemic, we were trying to get the film off the floors. And then when we tried to get the visas, 38 visas came, 1 didn't. And I landed in the UK to shoot without my leading actor, and it was a nightmare.
Who has workshopped with you for 2 years?
Yes. So my heart broke.
She must have been heartbroken.
Oh, my heart goes out to her. And this is where the gods of cinema come in because you can't... there is no way to explain something like this, why it happens, what. And I had the choice of shutting the film down and coming back, or figuring out within 5 days a replacement. And I just, teen Rambana chalaye maine through to the biggest talent agencies, and there was this girl who had just come off Spider-Man Far From Home, and I had seen Spider-Man. So I knew the girl. I said, she looks the part. Will she audition? And she auditioned, and then I gave her a narration. And
I don't remember what did she play.
she's the burqa-clad, the big guy's girlfriend.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And she was the first burqa-clad woman in a Marvel movie. So she's really gone out, and she's an actor of some serious pedigree, and someone to watch out for because, yeah. So long story short, 10 p.m. she tells me, send me the car, and she was somewhere in the west of United Kingdom. We sent her a car. She got into it at 10:30, and she was in Skipton in Yorkshire at 4 a.m. She met me at breakfast. We workshopped for 2 days, tried to get her on speed, and there's a really fun story. If you don't mind, I'll share it.
I'd love to hear it. Please do. I'd love to.
There's a red dress, which was Sanya, the character's entry dress, and I had.
And she looks terrific in it. Yeah.
So, and there's a pun there of Lady Chatterley and
yeah, Lady Chatterjey's lover.
Yeah. So that red dress was very important to me because that's the introduction of the girl, right? And Mandira Shukla, who's one of the best costume designers we have in the country, I kept telling her, Mandira, I want that red dress, and they couldn't find the red dress, so I found the red dress, and then it wasn't. Abir was doing look tests here, and it wasn't just falling. And one day Mandira took me in the corner and said, Anshuman, you can imagine what you want, but there are women and there are different kind of bodies, and a dress falls differently. And I had never thought of that. So I was like, okay, I'll live with what we have, and it's okay. And I reach London, and I get to know that Abir's visa has been rejected. Funnily, in the film, visa and rejections are a big part. The joke was on us. And I am heartbroken. And then Zoha happens, and I'm like, come on, let's find a solution here. Zoha comes on set, throws the dress without trials, no changes. It falls just the way I had dreamt of. And I am like, I look at the costume team and I'm like, this is the god of cinema giving me signs that this is what is meant to be. Like, you can't plan something like this. And I'm telling you, it was a wraparound. It's in the film. It's a wrapping dress. It's not a fitted dress or something. So you can't do much with it. And it just fell so beautifully on her as is. And it gave me confidence that this is what's meant to be. So now just forget as difficult as it was and just move forward. And I think that's what filmmaking at a lot of times is. It's cruel. It's really cruel because something bad happens, but you need to finish this. And I think that's one of the hardest part of our jobs. That I remember when I lost my mother, there were 100 people in Manali waiting for me. I had to leave set come. And I went back in 2 days because I knew my mom would have wanted me to go back. It's cruel, but it's what you got to do. And some people may agree with it, some may not, but it's what makes the movie world so exciting for me.
I have a feeling after watching Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, a lot of filmmakers, casting agents are going to throw Zoha offers. So she's London-based?
She's a British citizen based out of London. She just had a baby when I had a baby. So we call them Curzon babies because she delivered, she was due on 13th March. My wife was due on 14th March last year. And my daughter came 4 days before. So my daughter Tara was born on 10th. Zoha delivered on the day. So Zoha's baby came on 13th. So we just met them in London actually.
How wonderful. How wonderful.
And it's quite incredible that how these things align. Yeah.
You were telling me, technically speaking, and Anshuman's been going out on a limb to say you've got to watch this in theatres. And, the small screen is not going to do. And indeed, for all of you who are watching, listening, check your local listings because some of this might have changed. But essentially, they're in PVR theatres, Inox theatres, Cinepolis theatres.
Yes.
So Cinepolis, PVR, Inox, and of course check local listings wherever you are listening to this, so you can go and catch Lord Curzon Ki Haveli. Because you have a sound person who's very, very reputable, and he's from Kerala, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so our sound designers are Shijin and Abhishek, who have done Manjumal Boys.
Oh, wow.
Who have done also Jagga Jasus. So they have the full spectrum. It's a sound team I have a lot of respect for, technically. And the mixer of the film, the final mix has been done in Kochi with Fazal Bakar, who's done a lot of Lijo's films, who I'm a big fan of. So this is a sound-heavy film, which is why I keep saying a theatrical experience is so much more rewarding as an audience than on television or on a small screen. And I mean, you'll have fun with good headphones. I keep telling people, make sure you use good headphones because the detailing on sound. We were hit by that storm, so what happened was the wind was coming through the chimney, and it's a sync sound film. And what Abhishek and Srijin magically did, which is why sound designers are such a important part of filmmaking, is they said, Anshuman, it goes with the vibe, let's just tone it down and keep it in the background. So when you hear it in the theaters on Dolby, you can have that hiss of the wind constantly there, which adds to the mood and the coolness and the atmosphere, so to speak. Again, a very subtle thing, but as an experience, it makes a big difference. So yeah, I'm just grateful for the crew I had. Jean-Marc, ace French DP, along with Ramanuj Datta from India, Simo Francois, scoring all the Beethoven for me, which I wanted, rescoring.
Yeah, Anshuman does give credit to Beethoven. It's there in the credits. Music by yada 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 yada.
Special thanks.
Special thanks, Beethoven. And indeed, Beethoven plays off the vinyl. You know, he puts Beethoven on.
Even at the beginning, the film begins with For Release. It ends with the punk version of For Release, which we did the whole drummed version of For Release. And then Symphony Number 5 is, we've done violin strokes through the film, and then it plays off the...
I love the violin strokes through the film. I mean, it just gives it a completely different feel, you know.
Yeah, scoring it in Europe, no, just those musicians and just Simo bringing his take, because he looks at music in a very different way than me. For him, Beethoven is something else than what it is for me, and we kind of tried to fuse it. And we just spoke of having a communication across ages. So, you know, if Beethoven was alive today, he would be a rebel, just like he was back then. And that's why the punk version is so important, you know, the drummers coming in and recreating For Release in a completely whacked out, absurd manner. I hope he's blessing us from up there, Hitchcock and him both.
And in effect, I mean, Arjun Mathur is a good-looking bloke, but you've made him very desirable in Lord Curzon Ki Haveli. Not only does his own girlfriend lust after him, but also the wife of another man, of Paresh Pahuja's character. I'm not saying Arjun's complaining at all, but you know, that was good to see. You know, it's not often you see Arjun in parts like that. And then there was Paresh, who was almost like the mumbling chomo of the film, with a bit of anger management issues. Again, stuff I haven't seen him do.
Sure.
So you've literally taken Mathur as well as Paresh and given them new territory to explore. How did that go? Tell me about that.
So to be honest, Hrishi, on the writing table was very clear I would not make this film without Arjun Mathur and Rasika Duggal. Those were two actors I was going for right from the outset. And I told them that if you don't say yes to it, I won't make the film. Because it's a performance-heavy film and I didn't see anybody else fit the parts like they do. Arjun has not been explored, I feel, as an actor. I keep saying this in the press, and not to offend anyone, but I think he's the best actor called Arjun in India, and he should get more work. And I urge people to explore his craft because he's just a very special actor. I've always seen this childlike glint in his eye. Also, he's a Delhi boy, so he's very shana. Also, there is this old auntie G in him, now that I know him. So you have to mold him in ways to... And he's a good-looking guy. So, you know, the suspenders, the jacket. Like, I wanted a certain flair on him, which the workshops really helped to get to. Also, I like casting against type. Also, being an actor, I know a certain pulse with someone when I've spent enough time. So, with Arjun, I wanted him to do something that people have not seen him in. And with Paresh, it was I wanted a Boka Bengali Chomu, like you said.
Yeah. Well said, Boka Bengali. Yeah.
But, you know, we have a lot of fathers in India, up north especially, who are a little uptight and disciplined, over-disciplined. And in our imagination, think of a girl who's been brought up by a very strict father who said, skirt niche karo, button band rakho, and, you know, stuff like that.
And
then
no PDA, public display of
correct.
affection.
And
things like
then you get this wedding opportunity in London, and you think my life will change when I go to London, marry this Western man. And then you go to London and you realize that, oh, I've kind of married my own father, because the husband is no different from the father. So we wanted a man who has that patriarchal, uptight, I'm superior than everyone else attitude, which is something I've observed with a lot of men while growing up. And it's something that makes me kind of sick. And I have been brought up by women, my mom and my sister.
I call them the holier than thou characters.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Holier than thou, yeah.
So I used to always wonder if my mother and my sister had the opportunity to just go berserk one night. I can do it in a film, right? So Rasika's character is, it's a performance-driven film, and I wanted actors who can juice out the material. And Paresh Pahuja, I had worked with him in Lakad Bagga, so I had seen this spark in him, and yeah, he gave it his all, I think, and I think he's brilliant in the film. He caught that middle ground accent, which is there but not there.
Actually, the pizza delivery guy is there but not there.
The pizza delivery guy is a Bangladeshi immigrant. We tried to.
He's actually a Bangladeshi immigrant.
No, that's Tanmay. He's done Garbage and Brahman Naman.
But you're right, that's exactly other Bangladeshi immigrants who run Indian restaurants.
Correct. So we wanted intention.
They call it Indian restaurant, yeah.
So Tanmay went to RADA in reality.
And Zoha's character says, I went to RADA.
Yeah,
yes.
she said, and I was the creme de la creme of RADA. So Tanmay, because he's lived in the UK and studied at RADA and is a fantastic actor, he's dealt with these pizza delivery boys, the Bangladeshi immigrants. So he had a very concrete and correct idea of how they speak. So his accent is actually 100 on 100. That's how they sound. If you go to the UK,
You want to do that, man? You gotta
listen. His listen is something we used to trip on when watching the film. Yeah.
Interesting. So again, that's a UK casting for you.
No, Tanmay is based out of Goa.
He's based out of Goa.
Yeah,
Okay,
he lives in India. He was here for the trailer launch.
So he's just a RADA boy who came back then. I mean, he went to RADA
Yes.
and came back to India.
Yes.
Yeah, and we know about Hrishi Curzon.
Yes.
Rasika, of course, has pulled out all the stops. A really remarkable performance there. You know something? At the end, when I see there's a shot of the three principal characters, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, the three principal characters in a small, what we presume, UK flat, sprawled out on a bed. I'm thinking these three could have a sequel. They could be their own version of Thelma and Louise +1.
Or Bonnie and Clyde, or Natural Born Killers.
Or Bonnie and Clyde +1. Natural Born Killers. Very, very interesting, because you see that they gravitate. It's almost as though Paresh Pahuja's character is sitting there on the couch, and they're all three of them looking at him saying, this is ridiculous. Look at this guy's thoughts. Iske vichar kya hai, And they're looking at each other and smiling, and they're having their own joke because they are aligned. They have the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And, which is why their behavior to each other is totally normal.
Yeah.
Like Zoha's character doesn't feel Arjun's doing anything abnormal. She was not even batting an eyelid. I just found it wonderful.
I read this beautiful line in a book I was reading last year called "You only meet people at the level that they have met themselves." So it's something that I really believe that there is no right. Like, I meet you, I feel connected with you. There is a good reason why. I might meet another RJ or another journalist and feel not so connected. And you can never put a finger on why. But as I am growing older, I'm realizing that all of us are on different levels of being. And these characters are at a certain level in terms of their mental and spiritual space. And these three characters find a night where they completely align and they're in sync. And there's this guy who's at the other end of the spectrum, unfortunately, in the same room. And all of us have been in such scenarios where we've had the oddball sitting with us on a dinner table.
Yeah.
And we've been wondering, why are we on this table, or why is that person on the table? So yeah, that was the thought when Vikas and me were writing. And if you see how we've shot it, it starts. I've shot the whole film on a single lens, 35. But as the film progresses, I have progressively come closer to the characters. And from Rasika and Paresh being a unit, it slowly changes to the three of them being a unit and Paresh alone. It's a very subtle thing, but it starts giving you this 3 versus 1 sort of, the team has changed now. It's no 2 versus 2. And those little things I hope people subconsciously enjoy.
And I love the fact that the end credits are rolling on the house cameras, the domestic camera, one of them. I think it's just a beautiful touch. Was that in the original screenplay? Yeah,
I added
always?
that. No, that was not there. I took the liberty of I didn't tell because there was a question I always had on the screenplay.
I think a touch of genius. Well done.
कि आज के दिन में how will a summer house not have a CCTV camera?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, even if it's an old couple, for safety, they'll have one camera.
Particularly, yeah.
So the living room, also it gave me a new vantage point. So I kind of showed you that camera during the course of the film, and then I showed you the full day before and after just to tell you what exactly happened. And it just adds, I like films which have multiple perspectives. And anybody who sees the film closely will enjoy the end credits because it kind of in a very subtle way plugs the holes. The fire being burnt you see for the first time on the CCTV camera. Little things. What was he doing when he was alone while they were on top? Yeah.
Wonderful. For those of you who don't know, Anshuman is married, has a wonderful daughter. And, it's just as well that the ladies, the Lakshmis, have brought him luck. And this is his first film, so please go bless it. It's in all PVR and Inox theatres. Check listings, actually, to find out which ones. And, of course, Cinepolis. It's Lord Curzon Ki Haveli. Excellent performances. Great technique, great sound. Overall, just fabulous direction. It must be very heartening for you as an independent director making his first film that you're seeing people react to this. And it does prove that even though times are rough and people are not flocking to the theatres like they did, there is hope and there is light, and there will always be light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I always believe in the fact that you have to hope against hope sometimes. And that's the only way. And a lot of people talk about be positive and the power of positivity. I have a different take on this. I feel you need to be less negative. So if you take negativity out of your life, positivity will automatically flourish. So I don't tell people be positive and think positively. I really push people to not to waste their time on negative thoughts. Don't use your imagination for worst case scenario. Use it for best case scenario. If you have to use it, or don't use it. So in these challenging times when big studio films are dropping out of theaters on Mondays, some of them recently actually dropped off on Saturdays and Sundays, it's a real shot in our arm to see that people have turned up, and that in a limited 60 screen release across 16 cities, we've managed to get the numbers that we have, and that we are getting a week 2, which is just God's grace. And it's credit to our audience. We have an intelligent audience and we need to trust them, and they will like it, dislike it, but we owe it as artists to serve original stuff.
Absolutely. So has your daughter been taken on her first travel holiday? Which would it be?
She's already been to the US 3 times. She was born in America, so
because her mother's American,
and the grandparents are there. I lost both my parents in 2020, so we try to make sure that the grandpa and grandma get to see her and that she gets to see them, because it's very important. So she's been to the US thrice, and she was in Indonesia with me shooting Lakad Bagga 2, so that was the first set she came on. And she came on to the hardest location actually, which was 6.5 hours drive from Jakarta. So yeah, it's incredible to just see. She wakes up every morning with the biggest smile, touch wood, and it's something I learn from her, that we should be grateful for life as long as we have it, because there are a lot of people who don't wake up the next day. So
how old is she?
She's 18 months now.
18 months and a traveling Wilbury, a smiling traveling Wilbury already.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Me and Sierra talk that we should learn from her. We should not try to teach her anything.
Correct.
Because, and we are not sending her to school. Like, we are homeschooling her as she grows up. So we don't want to corrupt the magic that God's blessed her with. And I think schooling, it's my personal opinion, the traditional schooling system is a big corrupting system in the world. I feel it takes the joy out of a lot of people, I feel, by pushing this competition and, we create assembly line products through the schooling.
Heavy books in the bags.
Exams.
Yeah, all those things. There is a quotation in the beginning, and it says someone somewhere said it. Was that Anshuman Jha?
Yeah, the difference between man and a monkey is that while the monkey is merely bored, man has boredom plus imagination.
Imagine.
So use your imagination for the good, guys. Because if it's bad, you'll end up in the Haveli in a trunk.
So you did write that. Yeah, wonderful. Lord Curzon Ki Haveli is in theatres. Please go give it a lot of love and lots of blessings. My name is Hrishi K, and we're signing off with Anshuman Jha, actor, filmmaker. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Lord Curzon Ki Diwali.
Good one.
94.3 Radio 1.